I'm too busy. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough money. My car's in the shop. I have to watch the kids. I've got the sniffles and I don't want to get someone else sick. There's no end. There's no end to the excuses that we come up with to not do the things we don't want to do. I've done it, you've done it, everyone's done it. We use these excuses to avoid the things we don't want to do. Today I want to narrow in on some of the excuses we use to not pay attention to what God is telling us through His Word, through the Bible. Excuses that we use to pick and choose what we want to pay attention to. The 5 big excuses. I don't know if these are for certain the 5 biggest excuses, but they are the ones I've personally used or heard others use more frequently than any others I can think of. If you have one that you've heard that's not in this list of 5, put it in a comment down below. Let's help each other avoid these excuses by helping each other be aware of them. No more delay. Let's just jump into the 5 big excuses. Number 1, we've always done it that way, so it has to be right. You know, I've got to think that's what the Pharisees said. When Jesus challenged them, when He accused them of having bad hearts and motives, I bet they thought, what's this guy talking about? We've always done things this way. Maybe that was the core problem. Maybe they were so focused on what they had always done that they couldn't hear Jesus when He told them that things needed to be done differently. Do you know, there are several religions that are much older than Christianity. So if our measuring stick is how long something's been around, well, then Christianity doesn't score very well. This is an excuse we need to get rid of. Number 2, well, that's just semantics. In other words, I'm going to dismiss that because of the way you said it. Look, I get it, semantics matter. How we say things affects how people hear things. But when we dismiss something because of semantics, we too often do so before we ever put the effort into actually understanding what they're trying to say, what they actually mean. There's a real danger in doing this with the Bible. We can quickly dismiss concepts and commands in the Bible because they don't sound like what we're used to. So instead of doing a little digging and getting a little deeper into it to really understand it, we just write it off as a matter of semantics. Another excuse we need to stop using. Number 3, it's not a salvation matter, so it doesn't matter. Well, the Bible certainly shows us the way to salvation, but that's not the only thing the Bible does. It also shows us how to live holy, sanctified, godly lives. It shows us how to treat our enemies, how to pray, how to cast our cares on God, how to care for the needy, how to glorify God in all that we do, all the way down to how we eat and drink. That's 1 Corinthians 10:31 if you want to look it up. When we say that it's not a matter of salvation, so I'm going to dismiss it, we're dismissing huge chunks of the Bible, dismissing the words breathed out by God that are sufficient for making every man complete. 1 Timothy 3:16. Salvation matters. So does living a sanctified life. Let's not ignore that part. Just one more excuse we need to get rid of. Number 4, they're just majoring in the minors. Look, this is basically the same as the previous excuse. Just a matter of picking and choosing the things that we deem important and dismissing the rest. Well, dismissing anything that God has to tell us is a bad idea, a really bad idea. It's not our job to decide which things are major and which things are minor. It's our job to submit to all things given us by God. All things spoken by God are profitable and make us complete. Let's dump the excuse of only thinking about the major things that God shared with us. Finally, number 5. I'm a good person, so this really doesn't make a difference for me. Well, we're not called to be good people. We're called to be holy. As a matter of fact, the Bible says we are to be holy as God is holy. That's 1 Peter chapter 1. So when we say we're a good person, we're basically comparing ourselves to the world. I'm a good person compared to these other people around me. That's the wrong target. Hebrews 12:2 says, let us look to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. That's our target. That's our role model. And Jesus himself said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. There are a lot of people in the world that you and I would probably agree are good people. But falling for this trap of being a good person is just Satan's way of getting us to take our eyes off of Jesus, the real target. Taking our eyes off of Jesus is the doorway to destruction. Let's help each other move beyond this excuse of, I'm a good person. So there's the 5. Speaking of helping each other, what excuses did I miss? What's out there that you've fallen prey to or your friend has fallen prey to? Leave a comment down below. Let's open each other's eyes to the traps and excuses that Satan is trying to get us to fall for. I hope you'll leave a comment and maybe get involved in some conversation to help each other grow into the holy people God calls us to be. Thanks for listening. God bless you on your journey.